Hey, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of Ultimate Music Lover album reviews, unboxings, etc. Today is just an album review. I'm going to be reviewing Weezer's debut album, also known as the Blue Album. Released in 1994 on David Geffen Company Records, or DGC, Weezer's Blue Album has been known to be one of the most influential albums of the 90s. And so that's why I'm here today, because in late March or early April, I recently listened to it, and now I'm going to give you my opinions on the album. When I first listened to it, I was like, weird album. This is good, but it's kind of strange. It's got like a mix of Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins, like mixed together into the same band. It's weird. In fact, the lead singer, which I can't remember his name now, but he claimed that Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana were among two of the bands that influenced their songwriting, and I was like, that's pretty interesting. Um, the Blue Album has been known to many as there's so many different genres that the Blue Album has. It's been classified as alternative rock, emo pop, pop rock, grunge. It's like 7 or 10 different genres of rock all in the same album. So for this review, I'm going to go track by track like I always do with my videos. And the next two videos are going to be Smashing Pumpkins related, because that's the band that I've been hooked on for the last 6 months. But I decided that I was going to take a different track this time and go towards something different. And that's why I decided to do a review on Weezer's Blue Album. So, I don't have a physical copy of the release yet. I do want to get the cassette or the vinyl LP because it's a good album to have in your collection. It's just one of the best ones. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, this song is kind of like some of the songs on here. I was like, they're kind of strange. But there's a song on here that I looked it up, figured out what the true meaning is, and I was like, oh, that's completely different. Kind of like Smashing Pumpkins is today. Like when you listen to it and you're like, oh, this is all happy. And then you look into the background about the fact that the main character wants to commit suicide. Then you're like, oh, wait a minute. And so that's what I found out about one of the songs on this album. Anyways, let's get into it. So, first track, My Name is Jonas, and I'm carrying the wheel. Thanks for all you've shown us, but this is how we feel. And from this point, you probably know the rest of the song. Come sit next to me, pour yourself some tea, just like Grandma made when we couldn't find sleep. And it's a very good song. Very catchy. The very first song on the album just makes you want to go. It's great, but the opinion that I've built when I first listened to this song was this is a song about growing up, about becoming a young adult, leaving your childhood life behind and growing up to what comes ahead of you. But the thing about this song that's different about growing up than most of the songs that are about growing up is the idea that the main character of the song, let's say that the main character throughout the rest of the album is Jonas. Because clearly, if the main character's name is Jonas, then he has claimed that my name is Jonas, this is me, I'm introducing myself, so that you can hear my life story for the rest of the album. So, Jonas. The thing is, I think that's different from his childhood, is he had a different childhood than most kids. So he didn't grow up in a household where he could just live freely and make decisions for himself. Like he couldn't just go out and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. While of course keeping in touch with his parents. I felt like he kind of had an oppressed childhood, or maybe it was a little abusive. Um, but he claims that they were better during his childhood years. But then he also says that they've all left the den, which means like they've left their house to go start their lives. And so when the singer, I'm going to say the main character, but of course the singer wrote the song. So we're going to portray the singer and lead guitarist as Jonas. So when Jonas claims that the choo choo train left right on time, he's saying that 18 years old came at the perfect moment. It was a perfect time for me to move out and to start my new life. Um, the ticket, well, it costs only your mind. It costs your dedication and your effort to go start your new life. And then when he says that the driver said, "Hey man, we go all the way," he's saying, like, yeah, once you commit to starting your new life, like, we're doing this, we're not turning back. And so at that point, he was saying, yeah, everybody in our family, of course, we were willing to pay. We were willing to go start our new lives because even though we had a great childhood, we were ready to grow up and we were sick of having some of our freedoms being limited. And so then he gets into the part where he's like, "My name is Weepeel. Got a box full of your toys." Like, I'm not sure what the whole box full of toys is, being fresh out of batteries but still making noise. If I had to say anything, what I think that Jonas is saying at that point is he's talking about people giving him opportunities in life. And he's saying that some of these opportunities don't really come, they only come once in a lifetime. And you only have one chance to catch them and achieve those opportunities, which is the fact that he's saying, but they're still making noise. It's like they're fresh out of batteries. Like, if you don't choose it now, they're going to be long gone forever. But you still have the chance to take this opportunity if you want it. And then he starts talking to his significant other or whatever, saying, "Tell me what to do because the tank is dry and this wheel is flat. I'm out of ideas for how to start my life." And guess what? I received in the mail today. I received a letter from my little brother who went into the architecture business. Well, he's saying that the building is not going as he planned. Foreman has injured his hand. The dozer is not going to clear a path for me, even though I want him to. This is Jonas's little brother talking, by the way. It's like, dozer's not going to clear a path for me so I can make this building. And the driver swears that we were going to be able to do this, that he learned his math, saying like, well, everything was perfect. You were going to be able to do this today. But guess what? The workers are going home. And that's just it. And so My Name is Jonas is a 5 out of 5. It's a great song. It basically is just a summary of the life he had and what he's about to embark on. And he's like, there you go. Well, that's me. My name is Jonas. No One Else. This song is simple. Jonas wants a relationship with somebody. He currently has a relationship with someone, but he recently figured out that they're cheating on him. And so he's like, if you see her again, tell her it's over. And that's why I haven't been seeing her. Why? Because I want a girl that's not going to go out and cheat on me. I want a girl that I dearly love so much and appreciate so much that I stay with her, and she loves and appreciates me so much that she stays with me, because I don't go around and cheat, and I don't want her to cheat, is basically what the song is saying. The world has turned and left me here. Now this one, I think he's saying that my life has just been stale and has not made any progression when the world has progressed. But then you came along and I felt like, well, there's something that I can finally, there's an excuse I can use to keep going forward. He's basically saying that I can use you because you and me turned away from the rest of the world, I can use you as an excuse to keep moving forward, using you as an inspiration. And then Buddy Holly is kind of a funny, it's kind of a funny song. I don't know if there's like a dark meaning behind it, but my first impression was like, oh, it's kind of funny because he's like, um, it's like another song about cheating, but yet he's like, yeah, we knew I looked just like Buddy Holly. Whoa, oh, and you married Tyler Moore. You know, and then he's saying that he doesn't care what they say about us, what they say about me, what they say about you. I don't care what they say because I want to live my life. Now, Undone, the sweater song. This was the song where at first I was like, this is a weird song. But then I learned about its meaning and was like, oh, hang on a minute. So I started listening to Undone, the sweater song, and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like, you want to destroy my sweater? Like, here. But then my dad was like, you know what that song is about, right? And I was like, no. And he said, it's about his life unraveling before him. And I was like, whoa, really? He's like, yeah. The Jonas, we're going to say Jonas is wearing the sweater. Jonas is saying, hey, I want to stop living my life because, well, I tried to oppress it and try to be happy about it, but I'm just on the brink of insanity. Here's this thread. Please hold it as I walk away because I just want my life to unravel before my eyes. And I read up on it somewhere on the internet, and what the person, whoever wrote it, they described it as saying that the song is about the main character being on the brink of insanity at a party. And as the party progresses and gets more and more crazy and more fun, the character starts to get more closer and closer and closer towards insanity, but nobody realizes it. Nobody pays attention to it. And then by the time somebody does realize it, and he's like, and they're like, no, I don't want to destroy your sweater. Come on, let's be friends and let's have fun at this party. At that point, he's like, it's too late. I've come up undone. I am insane now. And I just want to leave. And so it's a pretty dark song. And I never realized how the meaning behind it until I read up on it. And so now I listen to it and I have a totally different take on it. As like if I was going to a party, because who knows, you know, like that I've actually gone to a party and everybody else there was like having a fun time, freaking this and that, and I'm just sitting there getting closer and closer to being like, I just have a totally different take on the song now. In fact, as long as this video has been going, Buddy Holly would end exactly right now, and Undone the Sweater song would be beginning. Now I can hear the song as I'm going through this video because, seriously, right now, as far as this video has gone, we're now in Undone the Sweater song. And then right now, there's the dialogue of the buddy pulling up on the car, like right now. And then he's like, hey, bruh, how's it going, man? And then you got the guy being like, all right. It's like, oh, man, yeah, it's great, man. Life's so rad. This band's my favorite. Don't you love them? Yeah. But, so, all I'm saying, making that claim, is that this video has gone on for a certain amount of time now that I know when this song begins. Because this is one of Weezer's songs that I listen to, like, over and over. Because it's a good song, but the meaning behind it is just strange. Now, Surf Wax America. This, I don't know the meaning behind this, but this one is kind of, like, again, my first take on it is like, oh, what a weird song. And I haven't done research on it, because he's like, you take your car to work, I'll take my board, And when you're out of fuel, I'm still afloat. You know, like, what does that even mean? You know? And then when the other guy comes in, the second part of the chorus, or I guess the bridge, when he's like, all along the undertows, strengthening its soul. I never thought it would come to this. Now I can never go home. It's probably a song about, probably another song about falling in love, I would have to assume. But it's kind of being selfish, I guess, because he's offering the car to his significant other while he takes the surfboard and goes surfing. But then he only gives her so much gas in the car, and then when he runs out of fuel, he feels like, oh no, like, I gotta turn back and, like, come to the rescue. Like, I'm not sure what it's about, but that was, like, my first take on it. It was just a weird song. Say It Ain't So. I feel like this is very similar to songs like Something in the Way by Nirvana and Disarm by Smashing Pumpkins. It's it's a slow song. It's kind of heavy, but it's not too heavy. And at this point, it's just a matter of Jonas being like, "Oh, hey, these are things that I never thought would occur in my life. Like, I never thought it would happen this way, or that this would ever happen in general, but it did." Is basically what the song is. Now, In the Garage. So, the thing about In the Garage, I can definitely connect with this one, because I don't know if this is exactly what the song's about, because I haven't read up on all the songs, but In the Garage is about Jonas being completely different from everybody else that he's met. He's saying that, like, he has not connected with one single person because he doesn't share any similarities with anybody, and people don't accept him for his differences, even though he accepts them for their differences. So, what does he do? He gets stuff that he loves to do, like he gets his Dungeons and Dragons gear, he gets his electric guitar, he gets all the things that he loves to do, and he just sits there in the garage because he feels safe and no one cares about what he does in the garage because he can be him. That's where he can take off his mask and he can do the things that he loves to do and not be made fun for it. Not be made fun of. I don't know how to word that. But that's definitely the point in the album where he's admitting, I've went out into the world and I've had a hard time accepting the fact that not everybody likes me. So how am I going to deal with it? I'm going to go in the garage where I feel safe and just be myself there, where nobody cares. And by the way, Undone the Sweater song is ending in like 5 seconds, and then Surf Wax America is going to begin. If we were listening to the whole album. And now Surf Wax America is starting with the guitar in the left channel. She is foaming like a bottle of beer. Anyways, yeah, so In the Garage is that kind of song where he's like, I'm just going to be me, and that's it. And no one can make fun of me because I am me, and you can't say nothing about it when I'm in the garage. And then Holiday. Holiday is basically a fantasy where he's like, well, you and I can finally be real with each other. We can take the mask off and accept each other for our differences. How about you and I go away somewhere in a fantasy land, somewhere that's distant from everybody else? Let's go there in a heartbeat, because not everybody else is like us. We can be together and this can be our life, is basically what Jonas is saying. He's like, you're the only person that I found that I can be real around. And you have found somebody where you can be real around. Let's go run away together. Um, Only in Dreams. Now this is a weird song, but I'm guessing it's another one of those Fantasyland things where it's about the fact that you love somebody so much that the only time you can really show your love to them is only in dreams. Because you this is basically saying that Jonas has found this person, but they don't, after some time of hanging out with him, they don't like him back. And so at that point, in his mind, he's saying, "You can't resist her. You know that you love her and you know that you want to be with her." And so at this point, he's like, "Well, only in dreams you see what it means. You understand that this is the life you want to have, but you can't have it because of the events that have happened in the world. And because not everybody, especially her, agrees with your views, and she doesn't agree with the fact that you want to be with her, and that's just it." Um, Overall, all the songs are great. There's no filler. They're all 5 out of 5. The album itself is a 5 out of 5. I haven't heard nothing like it. It's very unique album, and it's very interesting. I will read up more on it, and I'll do deep dives. Speaking of which, before I finish off this video, deep dives. So when I do album reviews, I will give my personal opinion on the songs. But when I do deep dives, I'll actually go into the history of how each song was made, or a brief overview from the artist or the singer-songwriter. So, for example, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness here, I plan on going into a deep dive with this album because this album comes with a whole booklet that gives you Billy Corgan's, or William Patrick Corgan's, background on each and every single song. And that's pretty much where 99% of the inspiration of this album came from. Not saying that James, Darcy, and Jimmy didn't have any inspiration for it either, but the whole concept of Melancholy came after demos and outtakes from this considerably best Smashing Pumpkins album. I'm also going to do that in another video. I'm going to do a debate between whether this album is the best or Melancholy is the best, and I'll give reasons why. My opinion is Melancholy, so at the end of the argument, I'm going to say that Melancholy is the best, but I'm going to give, based on knowledge that I've obtained so far, I'm going to give both sides of the argument and say why some people prefer one over the other. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this album review of Weezer's Blue Album. If you haven't listened to it yet, I recommend you go and do so because it really is a great album and one of the best debut albums of all time. Definitely a point in a band's career where they made a great first impression. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below what your favorite song from the Blue Album is. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel for more unboxings, album reviews, and then, I guess, any other music content. And with that said, I will catch you all on the flip side.